La 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 la! No one has to hear anything. Fine, I'll stay put. You'll need someone to haul your body out of the water once Takahiro-kun is done with you anyway. Isn't that blackmail? Oh, it's blackmail, all right. Now, prepare yourself. The attack came a lot faster than I had anticipated. The wooden shaft aimed squarely for my midsection and hit me straight and hard, knocking me back a few steps. I hissed as the pain of the impact spread, flexing my arms out. Miyu sloshed forwards, waves of water splashing aside as she stomped onward. I pushed myself upwards, dodging another stroke to my left. Go, go, Takahiro-kun! I moved in closer, trying to make her thrusts less effective, thanks to the length of the mop handle, and aimed a blow towards her shoulder. To my surprise, she took the hit without moving an inch. If you're not going to put everything into what you have, you might as well stop calling yourself a man. My eyes narrowed a little. I pulled myself back as a wide strike sought to slam into my side. Growling, I felt my anger flare. I quickly lashed out, smacking the mop handle aside forcefully, and used the opportunity to get closer once more. I managed to land a few jabs against her midsection and one to her shoulder, before darting backwards as best I could in the water. She appeared winded for a moment or two, before she spun the mop in her hands, pushing forwards again. Takahiro-kun! 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 Her next strike was a downward slash, which I caught between my hands with a grin. I pulled hard on the stick and flung my foot upwards in an attempt to land a kick. She did the only sensible thing and let go of the mop, which let me toss it aside with ease. A swordsman without a sword can't hope to beat an experienced martial artist. The match is lost. Surrender. I suppose I have no choice. As soon as she said that, she spun around, lashing her leg upwards in a roundhouse kick that caught my jaw, knocking me back and almost landing me on my rear. Overconfidence gets you killed. The fight isn't over until your opponent is down. She stood in front of me, her fist raised in a stance I did not recognize. If she was quicker without a weapon than with, I didn't stand a chance of beating her. Her kicks were powerful, as the ache in my jaw reminded me, and she had plenty of stamina to go off of. The only way I could stop her was to use that. That's not the only way to win a fight, you know. I stepped forward purposely. I didn't need to attack her, just to get close. A few steps and I had her right where I needed her, cornered and unable to get past me. I took another step, and she darted to one side, trying to get past my blockade. I looped an arm around her waist and braced myself for the counter that I knew would follow. My left leg applied pressure against her knees, sending her down onto them, while my other arm grabbed her arms above her head, my weight pressed against her body. No! Yay, Takahiro-kun used the submission hold! I held her tightly, but not enough to cause pain. All I had to do was to lower my right hand, which in return would put pressure on her body. I did so, slowly, showing her just what she was up against. Do you give up? Fine! You win! I grinned widely, chuckling to myself. I slowly helped her to her feet, gradually releasing my hold. Try not to struggle when I release you, otherwise... But it was too late. Before I had a chance to warn her about the problem with that particular hold, she pulled away from my grip. The angle of her arms and the tightness of my arm around her waist caused her clothes to tighten as she pulled away. Blood circulation had a tendency of getting cut off, occasionally causing people to faint. In this case, however, it was her clothes that paid the price for her impatience. Rip! As the girl turned to face me, her clothes tore off, scattering into tiny pieces in the wind. Time seemed to slow down, seemed to halt as Miyu looked down at herself, let out a scream, and just barely managed to cover herself. Miyu? You. I tried to warn you. I swear this isn't some kind of secret judo technique. You. Stay back! Narumi? Yes, Miyu-chan. Please get me a change of clothes. Yes, right away. I'll be back as soon as possible. I promise. For some reason, I'm feeling less like a hero and more like a villain. Narumi quickly rushed off, leaving Miu and myself to ourselves, and I felt different from last night.